Hello, everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today, I'll be taking you guys through my 3-day itinerary of Zanzibar, Tanzania. Taking a trip to Zanzibar is something I definitely recommend. There are numerous activities and beaches that will keep you entertained, and the food is truly exceptional. I actually thought that Zanzibar was a single island until I started preparing for my trip. Then I discovered that it's actually a group of several smaller islands and two main islands, Unguja, commonly referred to as Zanzibar, and Pemba Island, both located in the Indian Ocean. So planning my trip, I had to be mindful of the timing, as Zanzibar experiences a lot of rain each year. The best time to visit Zanzibar, Tanzania is during the dry seasons, which are from June to October and January to February. Now, during these months, the weather is warm and dry, making the beach an ideal destination. It's also easier to spot more wildlife during that time of the year. I touched down in Zanzibar in the afternoon, around 3 p.m., and I was so exhausted. It was a long flight with multiple stops along the way, as there was no direct flight available for me. I arrived at the Abeid, Amani, Karume International Airport. And by the way, did you know that was the name of the first president of Zanzibar? If you don't know, now you know. Okay, so after the necessary check-ins, I went for my ride. I had booked a private vehicle before coming, so I just had to look for who was holding my name. So some people would prefer to take the taxi. However, their taxis don't run on meters, so you would have to agree on prices with the driver, and often they overcharge. So if you manage to find one that charges a fair price, then that's good for you. Now, the cost of renting a private vehicle is around $28 to $35. Taxis also cost around that range too. So there's also buses called Dala Dala, Dala Hala, Hala Dala, which served as a public bus service. It's cheaper, but it gets crowded there, and it makes a lot of stops. So additionally, they don't take you directly to your destination. They usually stop at the bus terminal, and then you have to walk to your final destination. It took me 45 minutes to get to my hotel in Paje, and Paje is a beach village in Zanzibar. And by the time I arrived, I was relieved. I had finally made it. I checked into my room, and the first thing I did was take a short nap. Okay. And when I woke up, it was already 6:30 p.m. I took a shower and I went to check out the Zanzibar's nightlife. Nighttime in Zanzibar has a vibe. There's always a party going on, and their clubs and the musics are so catchy. Plus, the food is great. I was hungry, so I ordered some food at the bar I went to. The lobster curry, baby, 10. Recommend, okay? The food was fire. It was so delicious and made me want to go for seconds. And don't tell anyone. But I did. Lol. Okay. So I'm at the bar. The music was loud, it was jumping, it was straight legitness, and the party was in full swing, okay? I had a really great time. Can't you tell? So this is day 1. So by 7 in the morning, I was already up and running. So for breakfast, I had some ujo, which is essentially a soup consisting of a mixture of small pieces of boiled potatoes, cassava chips, bajayas, mashed potatoes, small pieces of grilled meat, double boiled eggs, and spiced with fresh hot chili and coconut chutneys. Campbell's soup good. It may sound like a lot, but trust me, the flavors, is flavoring, okay, so well together. And after breakfast, I headed out for a spice farm tour. Hey! Zanzibar is also known as the Spice Country, and a spice tour lets you see why. I arrived by 8 a.m. and we started exploring the farm from the start. I saw how they cultivated their spices from cloves to peppers and even got to make some. It was so fun. My tour included a cooking class, so I got to use some of the spices I had made to make powwow, a mixture of rice with chicken, cow, camel, goat meat, potatoes, onions, garlic, and other spices. Wow. I also got to eat it. It was truly an unforgettable experience, and I had a wonderful time. Okay, so from there, I headed to see the Jozani Forest, where I got to see the red colobus monkeys. These monkeys are rare and can only be found in Zanzibar. It cost $10 to get in, and the guide was extremely helpful, telling us stories the whole time. It was a blast. And next, guess what, you guys? Guess. No, I'm just going to tell you. Okay, I went horseback riding at the Paje Beach, okay? It was an incredible experience. I was riding along the beach in Paje, the wind in my hair, the ocean kissing the shore, and my horse, Pahati, which means luck or fortune, galloping like she and I owned the tide. Oh my God. It was a great time. And then afterwards, I went to the rooftop bar and enjoyed a lovely meal of Naima Choma, which is a meat dish consisting of grilled goat meat or beef. Now, I opted for the beef, and it was one of the best things ever put in my mouth. And as the night progressed, the bar came alive, and there was performances by some local artists that I really enjoyed. The drinks just kept coming, and the place was so lively. I eventually left and returned to my hotel to rest. We got to get that beauty sleep. Hey! Welcome to day 2. So I was up at 8 a.m. and started my day with a tour of Stone City. I saw the former slave market. Zanzibar used to be a common hub for the slave trade, which is really sad. Now today, the slave market has a church built over it, which, according to our guide, was built by some of the slaves who got their freedom. You must dress appropriately though. They do not allow entry if you're wearing revealing clothing. Next, I visited the House of Wonders, also known as Bayet El Ajab. It's called the House of Wonders because it was the first building in East Africa to have electricity and running water, which was unheard of in the region at that time. Now, to make it even more amazing, it even had an elevator, a symbol of modernity and technological advancement. Now, it was built by Sultan Bargash bin Zayed in 1883 as a ceremonial palace. The building also had marble floors and paneled walls. In other words, the building was a celebration of the first sign of modernity in East Africa. Unfortunately for me, the building was undergoing reconstruction when I arrived, so I couldn't take many pictures. Next up was the Old Fort, locally known as Ngome Kongwe. It was constructed in the late 17th century by Amani Arabs to defend the island against Portuguese invasion. It became the center of military strength when the Omani Arabs took over from the Portuguese. It later served as a prison and then became the railway depot before eventually becoming a cultural center. The complex features a market, a cafe, and an open-air theater used for events such as the Zanzibar International Film Festival. Now from there, I headed up to the prison island, a former prison that was never in use. I got to see some giant turtles, that were hundreds of years old. I also visited the Salam Cave, where I had the opportunity to swim with the turtles for just $12. So each session lasts for 30 minutes, but it's definitely worth it. I also had lunch there. I had a coconut bean soup, which was totally delicious. I also got some sugarcane juice, which was really refreshing to go along with the meal. Next up was Nakubenda Island. It was fascinating to go there because it felt like I was standing in the middle of two oceans. You have to watch the tides though. When the tide is high, the island gets covered with water. So in the evening, I went kayaking and got a drone video. It was so cool and only for $60. I also got to be part of a beach party. Hey. So at this point, I was hungry. So I went to the Forhadani night market. It was a feast. There was so much to eat, and just for $5, I had a good time. From the mishakaki to Zanzibar pizza, options were many, and everything was so delicious. Then I went kite surfing at Paje Beach. It was a delightful experience, and I had a great time. From there, I got to witness and be part of another beach party. Hey, which was a lot of fun. I returned to my hotel by 12 a.m. that night. And for me, that's kind of early to be out on a night. I would have stayed longer, but I had to be up early and catch these beauty Z's. Get that beauty rest. Day 3. I woke up at 6 in the morning. Okay, I woke up, and although I was a bit tired, I was excited because I plan to go on a dolphin tour. Are you jelly? Are you jelly yet? As you should. So after breakfast, I headed to the Kizimakazi fishing village where the tour was. I had to wait for a while, but then I finally saw the dolphins, and it was a beautiful sight. I even had a dolphin kiss me on my cheek. His name was Simba. Aww. Afterwards, I went snorkeling at Manimba Island. The fish were so colorful, and there was so much marine life. And at this point, I became hungry, so I went to a local restaurant to get lunch. Next on my agenda was Kendwa Beach. I sat by the beach. I sat by the water, soaking up the sun and having a good time. And later on, I went on a car jet. It was so exciting. It was a moment I will never forget in my life. Okay, so renting the car plus the drone videos was about $100, but it was worth it, okay? So by evening, it was party time. I went to a very chic bar and met a very chic guy and had a very chic dinner. Hey! For drinks, I ordered the kawa, which is some kind of spiced coffee. It was truly one of the best things I've had ever tasted. The party kept going. The music lasted until 2 a.m. I really enjoyed my stay in Zanzibar. It didn't disappoint at all. And Zanzibar owed me nothing. I look forward to returning. That's it for today, guys. Please don't forget to like and subscribe and leave your comments. See you next time. Bye.